Good evening, Fernwood. My name is Neil. Thank you for joining me for my trip through the entire series of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. We are heading into the Friday, April 9th, 1976 episode, so let's get you caught back up. Last episode, Mary would not get out of bed or could not get out of bed. You know, back then it was just called anxiety, which still exists today, but, you know, uh, the term would be replaced by what seemed like depression, at least uh, from this perspective here. Uh, I guess a diagnosis is something I haven't really discussed for Mary, so we'll figure out. Uh, I'm not able to diagnose anyone, but it just seems sort of familiar to say that someone not getting out of bed is somewhat depressed. There may be other things in at play for Mary, of course. She is visited by various family members. Tom calls the doctor. She gets some pills. Grandpa, she asks what it's like to be crazy because Grandpa is seen as kind of the crazy guy, and he offers a few thoughts there. Martha is as supportive as she can be with her basic ignorance of Mary's existence. Kathy, though, comes in to joyously share that she and Dennis Foley are getting married, after which point Mary takes at least a couple extra of the pills that she had. And my guess at what those pills were Valium, but I guess, there's nothing that's been named so far, so we'll see about that. Over in the Haggar's household, Muriel also is in bed, but mostly because she's enjoying the luxury of being served breakfast by Charlie and Loretta. Later, Charlie comes in to offer Muriel more money, but then he discovers because for some reason Muriel put the scar on the wrong side of her face that Muriel's scar is absolutely fake. At which point, Muriel comes at him with a big bomb that, well, 15 years ago, she had a son by him. My mind says it might not be real, but I guess we'll find out. Let's begin now the April 9th, 1976 episode of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman.
Is everything all right? Mary? Mary? Well, you're usually downstairs in the kitchen by this time. I just stopped by on my way to pick Kathy up. We're going out to a movie. Mary, are you all right? Let me feel your head. Just hold still. And that's the temperature. Mary, is all of this because it is me, Kathy? Mary, I care for Kathy very much. She's very sweet. I'm not going to hurt her. And the truth is, I just feel that I could have more, much more with you than with Kathy. That's why I keep coming back here.
I do feel like I'm hearing some kind of weird jazz underneath
but I'm not
this.
going to hurt her.
I don't mean metaphorically. I feel like the recording might have something that is not original to the show.
Mary, I want you to come by my place tonight after I drop Kathy off. There are some things that I want to discuss with you. Some possibilities that we've never gotten into before. Will you be there? Good. I don't believe this. I don't believe this. Maybe we're just imagining all of this.
I think these pills are working.
Hi. Yeah, Tom Hartman. What's the word? Hey, got it? Hey, that's sensational. That's great. I knew it. You know, I knew someone up at the top was pulling in pension funds. I knew it. Can you believe? I can't believe it. The brother-in-law of the president local put pension funds into a mobile parks estate homes. Huh? Oh no. I'll be right over. I'll get the stuff Xerox. There's a place over on Church Street. Now I'll zip it right on down to the district attorney's office. You betcha. Yeah. Okay. I'll see you in a little while. Yeah. All right. Hey, that's great. Bye. Hi.
Hi.
Ah, you're feeling better, huh?
Yeah, I feel great.
Oh, that's great. It's marvelous. What a difference a couple of hours can make.
Yeah.
Did you see the doctor?
I called him.
Huh? What did he say?
Well, he sent over some new pills.
Oh, yeah, well, she seemed to work. That's good.
Well, they're just what the doctor ordered. I said they're just what the doctor ordered. And that's who ordered them, the doctor. You get it? These are the jokes, Tom.
No, I get it. Listen, what kind of pill?
Methamphetamine.
Yeah, what's that?
They're antidepressants.
I thought you were on Milton.
Oh, you mean before the methamphetamine?
Yeah, well, I guess so.
I'm not familiar with these
I
drugs.
told you. You see, Milton and methamphetamine are the same thing. One is the generic term for the other.
Yeah, well, I wasn't looking to become a druggist, you know.
Oh, well, you do. You practically have to become a druggist nowadays. Like, for example, when I was on the Milton, I found myself a little depressed from it, you know. So I called up Dr. Furman, and Dr. Furman said, take the Valium. Now, Valium is another kind of tranquilizer. It's yellow.
Well, honey, look, you don't seem all that tranquil to me right now.
Well, that's because I'm on Eleville. See, Eleville's an upper. Eleville is a mood elevator.
Yeah. How'd you get from Valium to Eleville? Huh?
By way of Ritalin.
Huh?
By way of Ritalin. Ritalin is also an upper. Ritalin, however, is not speed. It is not habit forming.
Hey, wait a minute. Honey, look, do you have any idea what you're sounding like right now?
Am I sounding like my mood is elevated? Because I hope so. I mean, I want my mood to be elevated so much. You see, what happened was, now listen to this. I took the methamphetamine. That brought me down, right? So then I took the Valium that's supposed to lift me up, right? But something like was a little off there. So I called Eunice, and I got some Ritalin. But the Ritalin made me feel very jumpy. So you know what I did? I called Mother, and she gave me some Librium.
Librium?
Yeah.
That's new, huh?
No, Librium's the same as Valium. It's as old as Valium. So, you see, what happened was, I was taking all these pills, and it did make me feel calm, but I found that I was feeling like just a wee bit depressed, you know?
Yeah, and that's when you took the mood elevator Eleville, huh?
Right. along with a little disoxin.
What?
Disoxin.
You mean the doctor prescribed 2 mood elevators?
Oh no. Oh no, Tom, no. Shh. This is something you must not tell anybody. The doctor did not prescribe this. The disoxin, you know, I got that. I got that from Loretta. Loretta got it from one of the musicians at a recording studio. So, but you know, I feel so low. I just feel so up, and I just feel so. See what's in me now? I mean, I have a mood elevator. What's it? A mood elevator? I know it's like an upper and a mood elevator.
Yeah.
Elevator.
Plus what you had from the very beginning, right?
Oh, the methamphetamine? That's right.
Mary, listen to me, okay? Just listen to me for a minute. Do you really think it's a good idea to take all that stuff at the same time?
Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, look at me, Tom. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and Tom, I pity any girl who isn't me tonight.
Yeah. Okay. Please don't overdo it, okay? I mean, honey, it could be dangerous, you know?
Tom, now do I seem dangerous?
Well, no, it's just that I worry about you taking all that stuff without a specific doctor's prescription.
Oh, Tom, don't be silly. Now, everybody does this. Everybody does this. I mean, anyway, these were prescribed. I mean, prescribed to me, to Mother, and to Loretta's musician.
And to your niece Hinkle?
Yes.
Right?
You want to dance?
Do I want to marry? What?
Oh, Tom, I feel terrific. I feel so wonderful. So what are we having for dinner tonight? What are you making?
What?
Well, I just thought that you would make dinner. See, I didn't start to feel wonderful in time to get out of bed to make dinner. So there is no dinner. But you know what I thought? If you want, maybe we could pick up something at the Colonel's. I'm not that hungry though. Maybe we could even just pick up the Colonel. No, you know what I mean? I mean, we always go there, but we never have him here. It's the least we could do.
Yeah. Listen, I really don't have time to talk about this right now, okay? I gotta go out. Look, Mary, are you okay?
Oh, yeah.
Look, I'm not going to stand around and watch those crooks, down at the pension fund take the money out, you know? I mean, that's my money, right? I'm going to retire someday, and we're going to have pension money to live on. I'm retiring in Florida. I want to live in Florida, right?
Florida?
Yeah, Florida.
They said that we're going to live in Florida.
Well, that's just a for instance.
But Tom, but Florida? I mean, you know I don't like bathing suits. I'd have to spend my entire old age in a bathing suit.
Okay, then we'll retire in California.
And choked to death from the earthquakes and the smogs?
Right.
Tom, I don't think you've thought this thing out very carefully.
Honey, I don't have time right now to decide whether to die in an earthquake or a hurricane, okay? I gotta go.
Oh, I have to go too.
Where?
Oh, I have to go to Kathy. I mean, I don't have to go to Kathy. I have to go to Sergeant Foley to speak to him about Kathy, because I have to stop that marriage. I really did. Did you see my bag?
Your bag's over there.
Oh.
Well, good luck on that. How are you gonna stop Kathy from marrying Sergeant Foley?
Greater love hath no sister than her lays her life down for a sister.
You are gonna lay your life down for Kathy?
Is that what that means? I have no idea. It just seemed to fit. Bye. Just now. Honey, what's wrong with you? You look like 3 days after the end of the world.
Alright, you better sit down.
Well, I am sitting.
Well, and I better sit down too.
Charlie, honey, what is the matter with you? I have never seen anybody look like that since my drinking Uncle Bo took a swig out of his liquor jug and somebody filled it with hog fat. What is the matter?
Honey, I have something to tell you that's gonna loosen your eye teeth.
Would you please tell me what it is? And I'm in suspension. Come on, what is it?
Loretta, you know that fierce, ugly scar on Muriel's face?
Well, of course. I mean, who can forget anything so fierce and ugly?
Well, it ain't on her face. It's on her bedside table.
What are you talking about?
Honey, there ain't no scar at all. It's a fake. It's plastic. She pastes it on her face just like you take them flour decals and paste them on the kitchen cupboard.
Are you serious?
Honey, we have been had. We have been rooked by that woman, just pasting a fake scar on her face to gain our sympathy and to squeeze money out of us like you would squeeze ring water out of a wet wash.
Charlie, if that is true, that is the single most underhanded thing I have ever heard of in my life.
Honey, it's true. I just found out by accident.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. After I have been so nice to that woman, I swear to you, that takes pride for dirty doing. I'll tell you right here now. Well, I just told her to pack her back and bag it and never cross our threshold again.
In practically them exact words.
Well, great. When's she leaving?
Well, she ain't.
What?
That's the part that's hard to believe, honey. Now, you just better sit down and listen to me. If I can get it out.
Oh, honey, there's nothing you can't get out. I mean, our vows was through thick and thin, and we've had the thick part, and now or maybe, I never did understand that expression, but anyway, I'm going to stick by you come hell or high water, which is another expression I never really understood. But...
Loretta, honey, Muriel says that she and me have a son.
You do? Charlie, my baby boy has his very own son. That means I'm a stepmama.
Son, if you glad.
Well, honey, of course I'm glad. I mean, the world can't be better but for you having a son in it.
Honey, sometimes you take my breath away with your goodness. But, Loretta, listen. Listen to me. Don't before you get too excited. I think she's lying.
You do?
Well, honey, figure it out now. A woman that would lie and say that her own husband threw hot grease in her face, well, she'd tell a lie about anything.
Well, now, Charlie, I mean, maybe it is true. I mean, you really should find out. I mean, what if you had a breathing, living son walking around someplace on this earth? I mean,
Honey, I don't. I just feel it in my guts. She's lying to us, honey. I think we ought to show her the door.
well, I mean, if we do, Charlie, I mean, what's she going to do with the son? I mean, providing there is one.
Well, what she says is that if we throw her out of here without giving her any money, she'll never tell me where he is. And I'll never so much as lay eyes on him again, honey, but she's tricking me. She's tricking me. She's tricking you. I caught her in that fake scar business. And she just comes up with another fish fry story about some crazy child.
Charlie, don't call your own child crazy.
Honey, there is no child.
Charlie, what if there is? I mean, we've got to find out. We can't just chonk that woman out the door till we know for sure. I mean, let's face it, honey. I don't want to condemn you to a life without children. We've tried 3 times and come up puny each time. Now, we've got to find out if there's a sun to brighten your declining years.
Honey, all I need is you to brighten my declining years. But on the wee outside chance that maybe you're right, I guess maybe I ought to at least check her story thorough to find out if it's true.
Charlie, Loretta, I think it's time we all had a serious talk.
You're absolutely right, Meryl. It is time we had a serious talk. And I'd like to start out with, why did you not tell Charlie about his very own boy and my very own stepson?
I must say, I didn't think you'd be all that happy to learn about little Timmy, Loretta.
Timmy. Oh, his name is Timmy, Charlie. Is that long for Tim or short for Timothy?
Or is it made out of whole cloth like the scar was?
Now, don't be cruel, Charlie.
That was
I'll
latex.
see to it that you never see that little Timmy, even though he does have your eyes and forehead.
Oh, Charlie, he's got your forehead.
Not quite as much, of course.
Muriel, do you have any actual proof that this boy actually exists?
All in good time. All in good time.
There's no such thing as good time with you, Muriel. I'd sooner be locked in a box with a polecat.
Loretta, would you please tell this fathead to get his fangs out of me?
Charlie, calm down, honey. And Muriel, don't go calling Charlie any names because else I'm sorry, honey, but you ain't seen nothing by the way of things yet, Toots.
All right, Muriel, come on. Come on. If there is actually a Timmy, how come this is the first time I'm hearing about it, huh?
Well, Charlie, I didn't know I was with child until after the divorce came through.
Well, then why couldn't you tell me then? After all, it was my child you were with. Or was it?
Charlie. Loretta, does a woman have to put up with this uncalled for kind of slur?
It was a little catty, hun, because you don't have no proof, although I don't blame you. But Muriel, I mean, you still haven't told us anything to prove that there really is a Timmy.
If there really is a Timmy.
There is a Timmy. Why do I have to go through this torment from the father of my son? When I raised that child all by myself for 15 years, worked my fingers to the bone, never asked anybody for a dime, not a dime.
I have. And now you're here to ask for a dime. Is that it, Muriel?
I'll just ignore that baby boy.
Okay, now look, everybody just finish your story, Muriel.
Well, things haven't been going too well lately. I could tell you things that would have you weeping for the rest of your life. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you why. One illustration. 1 week last summer, Timmy and I were so hungry, we ate nothing except grass and flowers.
Oh, no.
Finished off half a suburban lawn and garden in 5 days. That's what made me think about pasting on the scar and coming to see you two about the money.
But why did you need the scar? What did you need that for? How come you couldn't just come here and tell me about the boy?
Oh, Lord, forgive me, Charlie. I didn't want to share the lad. Time healed the scar in my face, not the scar in my heart.
Where is he? Where's Timmy? Where is my son, huh?
Now, I don't want to be mercenary, but I'm all alone in this world. You two have each other, and I need the money. You get it from me, and I'll see to it that you see your son.
All right.
Well, now,
It's a deal.
well, now, hold on just a minute, Charlie. I mean, Muriel still has not said anything to us to prove that it really is your son.
That's right. That's good thinking, Loretta.
I'm not asking anybody to take my word for anything. I have legal proof in black and white.
Like what?
Like a birth certificate, dated 9 months after that awful honeymoon, if you'll excuse the expression, showing me as the mother and Charlie E. Haggars as the father.
Yikes. So there's paper proof of Timmy actually existing, and Charlie is listed as the father. So that sounds like a bit more, well, I'm not sure that the paper actually means anything, but if you believe that the paper is real, then Charlie is certainly in trouble. I guess we will see. And then I was very uncomfortable watching Dennis with Mary, who was refusing to get out of bed. That's just icky. He asks her to talk to him, and that's a thing that he has done more than once so far. And even more uncomfortable, or a different kind of uncomfortable, watching Mary go through the cocktail of medications that she has gathered from various places. And that kind of came out of nowhere to me because she only had one bottle that I saw. But, pill popping was a popular thing. I don't know if that is still what they would call it now, but I think that was more recreational than, how you take care of yourself. Like self care. It wasn't self care. It was just like, let's have fun and see what the pills do to us. And this is more like, okay, let's even things out. I'm getting a little too high. Let's take a downer. And drug interactions are dangerous and important to consider. I mean, just a month or two ago, we saw all of the drug interactions with Leroy Fetters, and that really turned out badly. So maybe Mary should be remembering some very important things that happened in her life that have driven her just a little bit more toward the not feeling good territories. So, and then, well, she was going off to see Dennis, and I expected to see that conversation play out this episode, but I guess we're going to have to wait until next week to see that. And that means thank you so much for joining me for today's episode, April 9th, 1976. And we will see you next week in Fernwood.